Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty cool things to go over. Some new rumors, leaks and hints for Generation 10 have dropped. We have some new updates regarding Pokemon Legends EA and some Nintendo Switch 2 details that you might want to know about as well. Plenty of things to break down today, so if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's take a look at these Pokemon Legends EA rumors, theories, whatever you want to call them. This is all in regards to characters we might be seeing in the game and also regarding Mega Evolutions as well. More importantly, the new Mega Evolutions in Pokemon Legends EA. So we've got Soul Silver out here saying, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I didn't buy into the every promotion match rank boss trainer's name will start with the letter of their rank ZA theory. So we covered this a few days ago where basically every single rank from Z to A, the person you fight to kind of promote into the next rank starts with the initial of that rank. So for Z, it would have been like Zach. I can't remember what it was for Y, something like that. But it'd be for like B would be, I don't know, Bianca or something, and then like C would be Clement and something like that. So that was kind of the theory. And then we also have Soul Silver out here saying, well, I'll see, I guess, but this cheeky line in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is totally the kind of hint Game Freak would leave, especially because it's the previous game in the same gen. So I like to think we could see Larry as one of the promotion match battles, which I guess would still be the I guess the L in the promotion matches, but this was the post, or the quote should I say, taken from Scarlet and Violet saying, as it just so happens, we've decided to send a Paldea League representative to a competition being held in a certain region. I took the liberty of recommending you for the role, Larry. So the whole situation here is that they're taking a representative from the Paldea League to a competition being held in a certain region. So they don't say the region name, so they don't say Kalos or anything. So it could be Kalos, it could be Generation 10, who knows? And then obviously Larry's the one that's been recommended. And we have Pokestutami saying, not going to be Larry, his Japanese name is Aoki, and we all know the Japanese names will take precedent. He ain't going to be the A rank. So he's not going to be the A rank, he's not going to be the L rank, but he could still be in the game. I mean, that's just a theory at the end of the day, that obviously a character is going to start with that letter. So it could literally just not even be anything about that. That is a cool theory, obviously, at the end of the day. But as well as that, regarding the kind of 26 promotion matches, we had this post on the r/Legends ZA Reddit saying there's 26 letters of the alphabet leak discussion. So there's 26 new Mega Evolutions according to leaks. And then it says, I know they don't bar for bar match each letter of the alphabet, but that's got to be intentional. So what a lot of people are thinking now is that every single promotion match is going to have a brand new Mega Evolution. So there's 26 that have been leaked. So let's say rank Z has a Mega Starmie, and then rank Y has a Mega Scrafty, and then rank X has a Mega Meganium, something like that. So we don't know how early you'd obviously be able to Mega Evolve in this game, but that is something that would be kind of cool. I think, I feel like it is intentional that they do it like that. 26 new Megas, 26 rank promotions. Every single rank promotion has a new Mega Evolution that you fight. Would be really, really cool to see. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on this whole thing? Do you think Larry's going to be in the game? Do you think every rank promotion is going to have a new Mega Evolution? Yeah, let me know your thoughts on all that. Moving on, we're going to be taking a look at some Generation 10 leak updates and some hints and some rumors. So, of course, Generation 10 very likely to be announced next February for Pokemon's 30th anniversary, and it's going to be coming out next November, most likely. We've got this leak update here from Centro, which, I mean, again, their track record is all over the place. They have, I guess, gotten a few things right about Legends EA, which, again, haven't even come to light yet, so a lot of just other people have kind of like agreed that what they've said is true, but they're saying something about Generation 10 here, which I think was just kind of common knowledge anyway, but they're basically saying, as we approach the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, which of course happened recently, we have some special information for all of you. So Pokemon Legends EA is currently planned to be the final main series Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch 1. Generation 10, codenamed Gaia, will release next year exclusively for the Nintendo Switch 2. And then they say the Terror leak contained information on a Switch 1 build of Gaia. However, this is inaccurate. Our current understanding is that Game Freak is developing the game as a Switch 2 exclusive. Of course, things can change if the console is complete failure, but that's very unlikely. And then we had Soul saying, this is not common knowledge, saying, no, back in the Terror leak, Gaia was being developed for the Switch 1. So, I mean, I was very hesitant to think this game would ever be on the Nintendo Switch, just simply because Generation 9 ran so badly. Why would they put an even more powerful, demanding game on the same console? It just wouldn't run very well at all. We all know how good Legend ZA runs on the Switch 2 compared to the Switch 1, so it only makes sense for the next game to be on the Switch 2. I get that the Switch 2 won't have been out a crazy amount of time for them to just start doing exclusively Pokemon games on the Switch 2, but then they could always do like Generation 5 remakes on the Switch 1 and the Switch 2, so they could always go back to putting something on the Switch 1. But I think for Generation 10, which is going to need a lot more power and is going to consume a lot more power and stuff, I think it just makes sense to have it on the Switch 2. Hopefully a lot of people will have the Switch 2 by next November, when this game is most likely going to be coming out. But yeah, I'm not surprised to see it being a Switch 2 exclusive. Again, for me, I'm gonna get it for the Switch 2 regardless. And I feel like if you're playing Generation 10, which is arguably going to be the best Pokemon game of all time, I mean, it should be, you really want the best experience for that. So to have to play it in like a choppy, laggy kind of setting, it's just not really worth it. So definitely makes sense for it to be a Generation 10 to be a Switch 2 exclusive. And then we also have this update from Light as well, which was this is a hint. It was posted a while ago, just before Pokemon Day. I'm only just getting around to getting it, because I was waiting for like a Generation 10 kind of video for me to pop this in. But it says, in the short Dragonite and the Postman, we see this landscape of the unknown and theorized region for the second time. I really want to think that Generation 10 is next to Paldea and will look like this. Anyway, I have my own theory of another region that Generation 10 could happen. So this is taken from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, this sort of village setting, and then the same kind of region or the same image is shown in this short here. So this is clearly important, because this same image pops up in multiple places now. So it very much likely is going to be for a future region, whether it's Greece or Italy or whatnot. All we know about Generation 10 is it's going to be an archipelago of islands, and it's probably going to be coming out, well, yeah, next year, and it's going to be exclusively for the Switch 2. Other people think that it's going to be called Wind and Wave or something like that, Sea and Sky. All we know as well is the code name is Gaia. Nothing more concrete than that. But what are your thoughts on Generation 10? Are you happy to know that it's most likely going to be a Switch 2 exclusive? And then also, what are your thoughts on the region of Generation 10 as well? Where do you think this game is going to take place? Coming up next, we have a new Nintendo Switch 2 update to go over. Go Nintendo tweet here, tweeting out saying, Nintendo says the Switch 2 will have improved Bluetooth connections. So it says the Bluetooth device is connected successfully. Switch 2 is improving on the original Switch in just about every way. A bigger screen, more processing power, improved Joy-Con, brand new control features, Light Mouse style control, the list goes on and on. Turns out we can also expect some better connectivity on the Nintendo Switch 2 as well. We've known for a while now that the Nintendo Switch 2 would retain Bluetooth features, and it's no surprise as the original Switch and Bluetooth as well. Used Bluetooth as well. That said, the connection to those devices could be a tank wonky from time to time, but Nintendo says that's not going to be an issue when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2. So according to Nintendo Switch 2 design lead Tetsuya Sasaki, I hope I got that name right, you can expect more stable Bluetooth connections on the Nintendo Switch 2. So if I were to go into it, I feel like it's going to take forever, so I will start with yes, it has improved. And if I were to add a little bit more, wireless features really depend on the size has a big impact. So the bigger the antennae, the better the connection. And as we've been able to do that, I think you'll find the connection has improved, the number of antennae has increased, a lot of other adjustments have been made to improve it. So Bluetooth on the Nintendo Switch 2 is a lot better. And then we also have this update regarding the Nintendo Switch 2 as well, saying the Switch controllers can be used to play Switch 2 exclusive games. So Nintendo has announced a while back that the Switch controllers would be functional on the Nintendo Switch 2, which was nice to hear. What we didn't know was just how far that functionality would go. Thanks to some new details, we've learned that you might be able to save yourself a pretty penny when the Nintendo Switch 2 launches. So on one of the info pages on Nintendo's website, we learn a bit more about the Switch controller functionality. It's the fine print here that gives us the biggest bit of good news, as it reveals the following. Nintendo Switch controllers can be used wirelessly and are also compatible with Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games, but cannot be used if the games require features unique to Joy-Con 2, such as mouse controls. So some feared that Switch controllers on the Switch 2 would only be capable of playing select titles, but knowing that support includes Switch 2 exclusive games means people can look forward to saving themselves another $90 at launch, because obviously $90 is how much the new Joy-Cons are. You'll get a pair of Joy-Cons with the console anyway, but if you want to buy another pair, it's going to set you back $90. But the fact that your old Joy-Cons will work is good. The only issue is a lot of people's old Joy-Cons just have a ridiculous amount of Joy-Con drift, so it is one of those things. But anyway, those are the Nintendo Switch 2 updates. Finishing things off for today's video as well, we have a new rumor to go over regarding Generation 10. We've gone over the leaks, we've gone over the hints, and now it's time for the rumors. So this was posted on the 3rd of April. It's titled Generation 10, posted by Supermon. And it's all about Generation 10, obviously, and apparently the games are going to be titled Pokemon Dream and Pokemon Hope. So Pokemon Hope and Dream sounds a little bit better than Dream and Hope. But anyway, it says it's a California region. At first, they had considered the sea, but it was cancelled. A grass poison bat, a fire dark raccoon, and a water psychic platypus are apparently the starters. Obviously, take this with a massive grain of salt. Generation 10 information may get leaked because Legends ZA stuff is getting leaked so much earlier than the game itself is coming out. So I would not be surprised to see Generation 10 stuff being leaked, because that was also in the Terra leak as well. And the information coming out for Legends ZA was the Terra leak information. Again, it's from an early build of Generation 10, so it might have changed a lot by the time the game comes out. But just note that, yeah, leaks for this game may potentially be out in the wild. Probably sooner rather than later as well. But yeah, grass poison bat, fire dart raccoon, water psychic platypus. I like all those options. I've always wanted a platypus Pokemon, and that would be a really cool way to kind of dive into it. The Dream Legendary is a bug psychic type spider Pokemon, and the Hope Legendary is a bug dragon caterpillar, so kind of basing themselves on the bug type theme. And we don't really have that many bug type legendaries that are decent. So I'd really like a really good... I mean, Spider and Caterpillar doesn't sound like they're going to be that powerful, but I don't know. Maybe they're like little small legendaries that turn out to be really strong. Who knows? The story is a mix of drama and comedy. Okay, so your mother is a famous actress. Your father is a failed musician. They are divorced, but your father is trying to win her back with his music. I mean, it's one of the only times we ever see a father figure in this game, because usually we don't have one, barring Generation 3. The villain of the story is a film producer who is courting your mother. His goal is to make his dark film featuring superheroes in reality. So, evil guy produces films, trying to win over your mother's, I guess, love. Your dad's a failed musician. He's trying to win her back with his music, something like that. You are a rising star in acting. So I guess that's why the film producer tries to get on your good side by maybe putting you into a role or something. No idea what this has to do with Pokemon or anything, but it says the legendaries don't play that big of a role in the story, but a trio of legendary superheroes do. So it'd be very much like, it's like a movie sort of scene, and you got superhero legendary stuff. I really don't like the way that this is going. I do not want this to be anything near Generation 10. The gimmick is superheroes that give Pokemon the choice of 1 of 10 super abilities in battle. Okay. So some Pokemon have heroic forms, one of which is the starters. I don't know why only one of the starters would get a heroic form. I understand that Greninja got Ash Greninja, but that was just a time with the anime and stuff. Only one of the starters getting a superhero form would be kind of dumb in my opinion. It has voice acting in some scenes. I think voice acting has to be in this game. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it's just, it's the next step up for Pokemon. And for it to be the best Pokemon game of all time, I think voice acting needs to be in it. Not every single scene, but like, you know, the big cutscenes, you know, maybe when like a legendary Pokemon appears or something, you know, you want voice acting in that. You don't need voice acting in every single sort of like text thing, because that would be a lot, because you can speak to a lot of people in Pokemon. But it would be so cool. It'd be so cool to have like full voice acting in this game. It's only on the Nintendo Switch 2, which again, we expect to be the case. It's kind of already been leaked as well that it's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive. And then it says that it comes out on the 27th of November, 2026. 2026? So, yeah, of course, sorry, my bad. November 27th, I was thinking I was still in 2024. November 27th is a Friday, so it's quite late into November. We usually get them a little bit earlier than that. But yeah, I don't like the idea of this storyline at all. Very imaginative, I'll give you that, but it's not something that I want to see Generation 10 anywhere near. It just seems a little bit silly. But let me know your thoughts on that. The other Generation 10 stuff we've covered today, thoughts on it being a Switch 2 exclusive game, and where do you think the region is going to take place. All the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff we covered, and then, of course, do you think we're going to be fighting a new Mega Evolution in every single promotion battle, or do you think it's literally just a massive coincidence that there's 26 promotional battles and then 26 new Mega Evolutions? And do you think Larry's going to be going to this region as well, or do you think it's a different region? But anyway, if you enjoyed, drop a like. Let's try and hit 500. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we covered. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.